Hi, Virgo Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome to your June 2022 horoscope. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be covering the major transits for the month ahead using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I strongly recommend that you watch your horoscope for your ascendant sign first and foremost, otherwise known as your rising sign. So that would be you Virgo risings. Having said that, if you're a Virgo sun or Virgo moon like myself, stick around because this horoscope will still pertain to some areas of your life. So if you're a Virgo sun, you'll find that this horoscope will resonate more for you with topics like your career and your big goals and dreams for the future. If you're a Virgo moon like me, you'll find that this horoscope will pertain more to your family life, your personal relationships, your property and living circumstances, as well as your health and well-being. So just give me 1 second. On the 3rd of June, Mercury will station direct in the sign of Taurus in your 9th house. And of course, it will have been retrograde in Gemini in your 10th house as well. So once Mercury is direct, you can arrive at certain decisions and conclusions which pertain to your education, your travel plans, your world beliefs, whether you are religious or spiritual or an atheist or whatever it is. And so, for some of you, during this period of time, you could have been changing your education course, going back to school, changing your major, changing schools altogether. Maybe you quit school during this period of time, and for some of you, your travel plans, especially international travel plans, may have been subject to changes or delays. And because Mercury was retrograde, well, by the time it's the 3rd of June, it will have been retrograde in your 10th house. You could have made some significant changes to your career, whether you re-enter the workforce, left the workforce, took some leave, changed jobs, became self-employed. And on a different note, maybe how you identify will have changed during this period of time. In any case, from the 10th of May through to the 3rd of June, it will be a very, very busy period for Virgos, whether you're a Virgo sun, moon, or rising. So finally, once a couple of weeks have passed, so once it's around the 17th or the 18th of June, this is when the post-shadow Mercury retrograde post-shadow period will have ended, so things can finally start coming down for you. Now, on the 4th or the 5th of June, depending where you live in the world, Saturn will station retrograde in your 6th house. So the 6th house is connected to health, work, your daily habits and routines, and also the 6th house is connected to anything which is out of balance or any kind of conflict that you're experiencing in your life. It is also one of the houses which is connected to legal proceedings and legal matters, just generally speaking. So for some of you, while Saturn is retrograde in your 6th house for 5 months, from about the 4th or the 5th of June through till about the 23rd of October, you can be working really, really hard to change some of your daily habits. And because Saturn also rules over your 5th house, this can be connected to how much you are indulging in things, gambling, speculative investments, what your habits are like surrounding engaging in your hobbies and passions and anything which is creative. So for some of you, you could be trying to either introduce more fun into your life or curb how much you're indulging in recreational activities and leisure time. With Saturn being retrograde in the 6th house, I'm actually quite excited about it because there's a lot of stuff that I want to change in my daily habits with my routines and really set up some kind of hardcore working from home routine because I basically became self-employed in December. I was working 2 jobs, and I sort of thought like, "Oh, once I get to January, I'll hit the ground running. I'll have like an awesome routine set up." But right now, like I'm literally made up on the top, wearing my pajama pants on the bottom, and I'm like, I can't live like this. Like if you saw my office, you'd be like, "Ugh, she's not a Virgo moon. We're disowning her." Anyway, enough about me. With Saturn being retrograde in your sixth house, you can go on a health journey, start some kind of health plan, be more dedicated to working out some sort of diet or routine that you want to do, which is connected to health specifically. You could be going on some kind of health treatment plan, and maybe you are working with a team of healers or doctors to improve your life in some way, shape, or form. And because the sixth house is connected to work, for some of you, it can be as simple as trying to gain employment or working really, really hard on a project or something which takes up a lot of your time. And really, this can see you tackling conflicts head on and getting through some really gnarly tasks that you have just been avoiding. And, maybe you're sort of like drilling down on the ways in which you procrastinate, like I will be. I won't be procrastinating anymore, hopefully. So, anyway, on the 11th or the 12th of June, depending where you live in the world, and when I say that, the 12th of June would pertain more to like Australia and the Southern Hemisphere, whereas and also Europe as well, actually, whereas the 11th of June would be more like the US, just as an example. Anyway, on this date, there will be a conjunction between Venus and Uranus at 16 degrees in the sign of Taurus, and this will be occurring in your ninth house. Okay, so the ninth house is connected to education, travel, your world beliefs, spirituality, religion, your father figures, coaches, inspirational people. And also, the ninth house, just generally speaking, is connected to inspiration and you seeing the bigger picture. So, because this conjunction will actually be making a trine to you as a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, and also because this is occurring in your ninth house, which is connected to good fortune and dharma, not karma. I see this as being a very, very positive transit, really. So, with regard to spirituality and religion and your world beliefs and views, there may be a shocking new development here which is connected to what your views are. So maybe you just have some sort of huge breakthrough moment where maybe you feel like you have proof of a God or a higher power, or maybe you feel like you are witnessing synchronicities and messages being delivered to you, because the ninth house is connected to prophecy and seeing the future. So we can really experience some sort of when I say proof, I mean proof to you that everything's going to be okay, or that, maybe you're on a new path with a new religion or spirituality. Maybe you're getting back into it and now you're actually reconnecting to this in a more divine way, where it's not just going through the motions. You're not just, as I'm speaking right now, it's 111 on the clock. So angel number there for you, 111. Anyway, basically, with Venus ruling over your second house, which is connected to your values, and with it also ruling over your ninth house, this could see you experiencing a new set of values. And because of this conjunction to Uranus, this can come through like a sudden download of information, or perhaps this is very unexpected. Maybe this makes a lot of sense to you, but it doesn't necessarily make sense to other people. And maybe this just takes you by surprise. You could literally be doing a meditation, or maybe, you're even traveling abroad, and then you experience something profound or you witness something, and this could really take you by surprise. Now, with the ninth house representing your father figures, coaches, and inspirational people, this can see you forming an important new connection with one of these people or a new relationship. And of course, if this is your father or a father figure, or this person is already in your life, maybe there is some sort of breakthrough that you have with this person, or maybe they impart some wisdom on you, and you're like, wow, I really connect with this, I really resonate with this. And on a different note, a conversation that you have with this person, or even if you're not talking to them, if you just like see them speak, like a public speaker, this could see you changing your daily routine around on a dime. And I'm saying this because Uranus rules over your sixth house, which is connected to your daily routines. So maybe you have some sort of inspirational event take place, or a conversation, or you witness something or experience something that makes you go, I want to quit smoking, or I want to quit drinking, or I want to eat healthier, or I want to quit my job. That's another big thing that could come through with this. You may decide spontaneously to quit your job because Uranus rules over the ninth house. And this could be to pursue a dream to travel or to study, to further your education, or this could be some sort of religious pilgrimage, or this could be about you pursuing your spiritual values, or maybe you're quitting your job because you're realizing what your spiritual values or your religious values are. And even if they're not spiritual or religious, this could just see you totally changing your life around because of some sort of divine download of information that you've had, or an epiphany that you've had. And you could also be quitting school, or suddenly starting a new course, or on the travel front, you could be buying a ticket. Maybe it's a one-way ticket, or maybe it's a travel trip which was unscheduled, unplanned, very un-Virgo, and maybe you're just leaving the country abruptly, or a travel opportunity could just arise out of nowhere really abruptly, and it could even be connected to work. So, as a Virgo moon, I'm very, very excited about this particular conjunction. Another thing to mention with it is that it will be making an opposition to the moon in Scorpio in your third house. So I would say that, you may experience a little bit of pushback, either from siblings, relatives, people that you're friends with, or even like, co-workers, or perhaps you have to um, sacrifice something which is connected to your work, especially if you own your own business, in order to pursue this new thing or act on this new realization or epiphany that you are having. So on the 15th/16th of June, there will be a conjunction forming between Mars and Chiron in the sign of Aries at 15 degrees in your eighth house. Again, another indicator that a sudden epiphany will be, taking place for you in some way, shape, or form. The eighth house is connected to healing, surgeries, crises, um, psychology, psychiatry, the occult, divination, and also sex and mutual resources. So Mars rules over your eighth house, which is Aries, and it also rules over your third house, which is Scorpio. Mars can represent where we want to take action. It represents our drive, our willpower. It is a planet which is connected to sex and our primal responses and instincts. And Chiron is not an asteroid. It was initially classed as an asteroid, but it's actually what's called a centaur. You can Google that if you're bored. And essentially, Chiron is the wounded healer. In a spiritual sense, this represents like a core wound of ours, like an emotional wound, whether this formed, in your natal chart, this could be something which was like you grew up just having this really sensitive sort of trigger point in your life. But wherever Chiron is transiting, this is where we are addressing these core emotional wounds and spiritual wounds. It can represent the ways in which we inadvertently hurt other people as a result of pain and potentially trauma that we have experienced and that we're carrying around within ourselves. So Mars and Chiron form a conjunction once every couple of years or thereabouts. And because this is occurring at 15 degrees, which is the Gemini degree, I see this as very much being connected to communications, being open, communicating some sort of pain or trauma that you've experienced. The 15th degree, being the Gemini degree, would also represent friends, siblings, and relatives. So, just running through a few different ways that this conjunction can play out for you. On the healing front, this can see you becoming acutely aware of pain that you feel. This can be physical because it's Mars, or this can be emotional because it's in the eighth house. So, this can also see you understanding the ways in which you are hurting other people, and this could be emotional. I really hope that this, is not physical, but this is a general reading. So, there may be something that you're doing which is, physically hurting another person. And for some of you, this can be connected to your mutual resources. So maybe you are being very controlling with your mutual resources, and maybe you are, you know, emotionally manipulating other people with the resources that you have and the ways in which they may be dependent on you. And again, this is a general reading, so I don't want any of you to take offense. Just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. On a different level, the eighth house is connected to healing and miracles and sudden reversals. So, with Mars being conjunct Chiron, this can see you experiencing a sudden reprieve from a health issue or a release of some sort of pent up emotional baggage that you've been carrying around. Mars represents cutting things out. So, this can see you cutting out the things in your life which are emotionally hurting you. And for some of you, this could represent like cords, emotional cords that you're cutting with other people. So maybe you're understanding the ways in which others have been controlling you with sex, with their resources, with finances. And, on the surgery front, yes, some of you could be going in to have a surgery or a procedure, or there could be some kind of health crisis which flares up. I don't want to sugarcoat things, but I also don't want to scare you. So you'll really just want to check how this is impacting you personally with respect to your own personal horoscope. If this was to be a physical health matter that you're dealing with, we could be looking at anything to do with what Gemini rules over. So maybe injuring your hands, fingers, forearms, the nervous system. This can see there being like a breakage, worst case, knock on wood, or just like an inflammation on your hands or some kind of rash. And also, Gemini is connected to because it's connected to the nervous system, this can see you experiencing burnout or something which is causing a lot of anxiety. Now, I just want to say that I see this overwhelmingly as a positive opportunity for you to heal from something, purge the toxicity, communicate what is, painful to you, what you are experiencing, because 15th degree is all about communications. And, for some of you, this could see you having an amazing breakthrough with a psychologist or a psychiatrist or an astrologer or a tarot reader or anyone who comes under, the term healer. And, even surgeons are ruled by the eighth house. So you could have a surgery where maybe you're having like a cyst cut out of your hand or your forearm. So, this could be a very positive turning point for you on the healing front. And, for some of you, your intuitive abilities could be increasing around this time. You could open up your chakras. You could be realigning them or balancing them. And with the eighth house being connected to your mutual resources, this can see you understanding the ways in which you feel dominated by another person being in control of the finances. So maybe you're becoming financially independent. This could be a painful process. This could involve a difficult conversation. This could involve you cutting someone off, financially speaking. And, this could be for your own well being because Mars rules over your third house, which is the Gemini house, and it's also the Gemini degree. This could be you cutting off a friend, maybe a sibling or a relative that you're helping, or even a neighbor. And it doesn't need to be like you literally handing them cash. It could be the emotional support that you provide to other people that you just can't be doing anymore. Maybe you have a lot of clients who, you know, you do a lot of free work for answering their questions, emails. Maybe they haven't paid for certain services, and you're like, hey, this is actually hurting me financially because I'm like giving away my time. My time is money. Or you're giving away certain resources. So this can see you having some pretty profound realizations in that respect. Now, lastly, with this conjunction, before we move on to Venus and Gemini, which is very exciting, the eighth house is, oh, sorry, that's my microphone. It's Mercury retrograde, guys, as I'm filming this, and I'm a hot mess. So this can see you talking about your emotional intimacy issues. This can see you having a very open dialogue about what you want in the bedroom, what your sexual preferences are. Maybe you're having some profound realizations about this with your psychologist or a therapist, or just with like a trusted friend. And, Mars is a planet which is connected to sex. The eighth house is connected to sex. So, trigger warning, this can see you opening up and discussing a sexual assault that happened, or sexual abuse that you've encountered. And this can be a huge topic or area of focus for you, but in talking about this can actually lead to you having a very big breakthrough with regard to your own personal healing journey. So on the 22nd or the 23rd of June, depending where you live in the world, Venus is going to enter Gemini, which means it will be transiting your 10th house. So the 10th house is the most visible house in astrology. Whatever transit is happening there, this can be reflected in your professional life, in your public life, online, or maybe people are sort of aware of it somehow. So really, with Venus transiting your 10th house, you can be seen as more beautiful, more attractive, more charming. You can be coming across as more cooperative. With Venus ruling over your second house, which is connected to your values, your resources, your possessions, and valuables, and also just like money and finances. You could be investing in something which is going to accelerate your career or benefit you with regard to how people view you, how you're coming across in the public eye. And guys, when I say public eye, like, I'm not talking about all you Virgos becoming celebrities. This is just like, people noticing you and being noticed in the workplace. And, when we, just to make the distinction, because, I've kind of interrupted myself here. If your ascendant sign is the first impression that you make on other people, right? It's the handshake, you've just met someone. The midheaven is like your reputation preceding you. So you guys would be knowing me, those of you who haven't met me, which is most of you, you would be knowing me through my midheaven sign, which is Aries. So I might seem quite Aries-like, and you'll want to see, if you happen to have your midheaven in Gemini, this can absolutely be an incredible period of growth and expansion for you, just like on the professional front. But, on a different level, this can see you investing in your appearance, and then your appearance can, basically improve your confidence in a professional setting or in a public setting. Just as an example, I've been getting my teeth like straightened since March. And it's funny because Venus will be in Gemini from, let's say, like the 22nd of June till the 18th of July. And that's literally when I'm getting my retainers taken off. Wow, I'm really like sharing a lot with you guys in this session. So hope you don't mind. This is still all about you. For some of you, you could be investing in a new wardrobe. This could be motivated by how you want to be seen in a professional sense, or how you want to be viewed just generally speaking. Maybe you're trying to attract the attention of someone. You certainly can attract a lot of attention during this period of time. And this can see you getting along better with your boss. You can be seen as more valuable to the company. And this can also directly correlate to you placing more value on yourself and your own abilities. Now, you could be meeting with someone in a position of authority. You could be forming an important relationship with this person. You could be enhancing the aesthetic of your brand, or even just like your CV, as in like your resume or some sort of portfolio. If you need to present this to someone, whether this is artistic or, a corporate portfolio, like whatever, it doesn't matter. And also, this can see you engaging in a collaboration with another person, which becomes very visible. And I'm saying this because Gemini um, is the sign which is connected to collaborations. I mean, air signs are in general. So this can see a collaboration that you're engaging in, or a partnership that you're engaging in, which could be business or whatever, making you come off in a way which is very beneficial to you somehow. And this could involve publications, teaching, speaking to someone who's an influential person, or collaborating with someone who is of a different cultural background to you. And I'm saying this because Venus rules over your ninth house. So now on the 28th of June, we're going to see Neptune stationing retrograde in Pisces at 25 degrees in your seventh house. So the seventh house is connected to your personal one-on-one relationships. This can be a business partnership, your spouse, your significant other, anyone that you're in a serious long-term relationship with. And essentially, Neptune is a planet which is connected to donations, um, emotional support, intuitive abilities, sacrifice as well, and charity. So with Neptune being retrograde here in your personal relationships house, your house of personal relationships, for the next 5 months, from the 28th of June till the 4th of December, this can see you maybe needing to help someone that you're in a personal relationship with a lot. This could be with your resources somehow, as in giving a donation to someone, showing them some sort of compassion or generosity, or this could be to do with charity. And for some of you, you may actually have to sacrifice a certain relationship and walk away from it. And maybe this could be representative of Neptune, which is the sacrifice of a relationship, which is seen from the seventh house. Or maybe this is to do with not engaging in any sort of um, enabling behaviors. And on a different level, you could just be relied on really heavily for emotional support from one of those aforementioned individuals during this period of time. So maybe they're going through a tough spot, maybe they are unwell in some way, shape, or form, and you're sort of becoming like a caregiver to a spouse, your significant other, a close one-on-one friend, even a business partner, or even just supporting your clients more so than you would normally have to. So, um, lastly, for the month, on the 29th of June, Venus in Gemini in your 10th house will be making a sextile to Jupiter in Aries in your 8th house. I really wanted to end my horoscope for you guys on a massive high, because really, Jupiter is a planet of blessings. It is the greater benefic. It can bring abundance and prosperity and wealth and blessings. And then we've got Venus, which is considered to be the lesser benefic, but still, Venus is connected to finances, resources, valuables, possessions, our values, and also relationships. So there's a number of different ways that this can work out. But before I continue, I just want to say that because sextiles carry the energy of Venus anyway, as it is, you actually need to engage in this opportunity or seek it out, whether you are initiating it or maybe you just have to um, accept this offer or this opportunity in a very explicit way, or maybe even in a formal way. What I mean by this is if someone offers to help you and you're just like, oh, okay, maybe, or like, thank you, I'll think about it. The sextile energy and capitalizing on the opportunity isn't going to go anywhere. So, what you want to do to, claim this opportunity is if you're in that situation where someone says, hey, like I can really help you, blah, 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 let me know. Say to them, yes, please, thank you. I will take you up on that opportunity, or I will, call you on such and such a date, such and such a date to arrange it. Like actually agree so that this is kind of like a handshake. You've made a verbal agreement, or maybe you'll even want to text them or email them so that it's in writing. Anyway, so going on with this transit and how this can play out for you, this can see you allowing yourself to be promoted publicly or praised publicly, and this could lead to more wealth, more abundance, and increase in clients and increase in your resources, or this could even be healing for you somehow. And I'm saying this because the eighth house is connected to healing. Jupiter rules over your seventh house, which represents business because it's the house of exchange and trade. So this is where like the new clients can come in or the new opportunities can come in. And Venus rules over your second house, which is your money house, valuables and resources. And it also rules over your ninth house, which can see you having a more influential impact on whoever you're trying to reach. Let's just say maybe your audience or whatever. So if someone is like, hey, I'd love to promote your business or your services online just to like give you a leg up, this is not the time to be good old modest Virgos. This is the time to say, yes, please do. And, feel free to take it a step further and be like, if you do it on this date, it would really help me out. Or if you mention XYZ in the promoting of me, then this could, help me in some way, shape, or form. Now, your boss or a person in a position of authority could introduce you to people who are in an elevated position in society somehow. And I'm saying this because the 10th house represents your boss and authority figures. Venus is the planet of relationships. Jupiter represents influential people. And Jupiter rules over your seventh house, which represents you forming these one-on-one relationships with another person. So with Venus ruling over your ninth house and being in your 10th house, this introduction or this new relationship is like the sticking point as to where people like know your name or they remember you, or you make like a good first impression on them. And this could help you financially with your career or even just your self-esteem. You definitely don't have to be in the workforce to capitalize on this potent energy. Now, your significant other or your family, and I'm saying this because Jupiter rules over your seventh house and your fourth house, could be sharing money and mutual resources with you because Jupiter is in the eighth house. This could help you to advance your career. This could help you to invest in your long-term goals and dreams. This could somehow lead you to feeling more attractive, being more attractive, having a more sort of magnetic appeal and quality to you. And again, this could lead to an increase in your self-worth. And honestly, guys, this could be as simple as, you haven't had a pamper day, you haven't gotten your hair done in, years or whatever, because maybe money's tight, and someone is like, hey, like go treat yourself. And maybe you're just like getting a makeover. Sorry to be so superficial, but like Venus rules over the second house and I am a Taurus. So that's my example for you. Now, on a different note, you could have a session with a healer, like whether this is a psychologist or an astrologer or a tarot reader or a Reiki practitioner. And this could lead you to sort of like unlocking your desires about what you want to achieve and you realizing your full potential. Jupiter is a planet which represents coaching and wisdom, and it's connected to knowledge and divine divine knowledge at that. So it could be that you've paid for this session and then it's like, boom, I've unlocked a new level of understanding of what I want for myself and in my life. Or it could even be like a freebie reading. Maybe, a friend of yours does like a tarot reading or looks at your astrology chart. So if someone's like, hey, do you want me to read cards for you? I'm right here, I'm happy to do it. Take them up on the offer because this could be some sort of groundbreaking revelation that you have. And so, Virgo, that's all I have for you for June 2022. If you enjoyed this horoscope, please give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, I offer astrology readings and tarot readings, so you can do so via the link in the description box below. Enjoy your month ahead, Virgo, and I will see you guys in July.